first of all, okay, And let me turn the music down. Hello, and thank you for choosing the Night Sky Prince for your Sony State of Play stream. I am your host, Night Sky Prince, and today we are going to do aforementioned Sony State of Play stream. It's been a while, chat. Okay, there my chat goes. I'm just glad that Nate the Hate thinks FF9R is releasing in 2026. If it's releasing in 2026, we need to see something like today. Like today. I do expect Final Fantasy Tactics today, and that's like all I expect. Like I don't expect FF9. I think that's like out of the question really. I don't expect, I guess it's just FF9 really. That's all I don't expect. Oh, Black Lion Guard, thank you so much for the tier 1. I platinum Expedition 33. Easy game of the year. Also, please refer to me as Noir Lion Guard. From now on, I identify as French now. Me too. I'm also French as a result of Expedition 33. There will be some kind of 9 today, I feel. Okay, that would be cool. Like, obviously, I would love it if FF9 was there. Yeah, I think it's just going to be tactics. Like, I think that's like the level-headed prediction to make, right? Is that tactics will be there, and then I think we'll just be glad to get tactics. Also, by the way, if you couldn't tell, I got a new camera. Essentially, what happened is that I upgraded my phone, and in upgrading my phone, what I did was I used my old phone as like a webcam. So this is my camera, and that's why I'm maybe a little bit more HD than usual. It's not like the biggest delta between like my webcam and this, but I think it makes a substantial enough difference to do. It is 30 frames per second, unfortunately, due to how I have this set up. But the stream itself is 60, so anything that comes up 60 is fine. But I think for face cam footage, 30 is good enough. I've never thought about using a phone as a camera. Yeah, phones are like, so you have webcams, right? And then you have phones, and then you have DSLRs. DSLRs are obviously the best. But who the fuck wants to spend that kind of money on a DSLR, right? Especially as a streamer. Excuse me. As a content creator and a streamer, spending that kind of money on DSLR is like, like, do I really need a DSLR? Like, not really. Not in most cases. Maybe if you're like, a Maximilian dude tier streamer or like a Sea Dog tier streamer. Yeah, you can do it. Why not? Anything for the content, right? But like, it seems like a waste. But if you use like an older phone, you can get some pretty good results. So what I have going on here is an iPhone XR. Yes, I went that long without updating my phone, mostly because I am definitely the type of guy that's like, if it still works, why update it? And my phone lasted a really long time. And then so I finally got like an iPhone 16 now. But yeah. So, but before that, I was just like, fuck it. I'm going to just keep using this thing till, till the metaphorical wheels fall off. I think The Witcher 4 graphics look great, but I really need to see combat and see how it handles particle effects in real time. So The Witcher 4 demo, right, looks amazing. If the game actually looks like that or anything close to, it'll probably be the best looking video game like ever, right? Currently, if you asked me what I think the best looking video game ever is, gun to my head, I would say Horizon Forbidden West. I think that's currently the best looking video game. And I think part of it too, one, they just have like a really baller art style for their game. And two, they just have like a really amazing engine as well. And so, Decima is just incredible, right? And we not only see Decima running well for Horizon, but we also see it running really well for Death Stranding 2, right? So for Death Stranding 1, that was also, a Decima game. And so the engine is just great, really well optimized. It's even better for Death Stranding 2. And I think that Death Stranding 1 is already like an incredibly good looking game. One thing that that seems to be a commonality with Decima games is that they're really good with like face performance, like really good. And part of that too is because they photo scan every single person in the game. So, Joshy Poo, thank you so much for the super chat. You will be missed at the SGF Theory Bro 7 reunion this week. Oh yeah, all of you guys are going to SGF, but not me. I'm going to be staying at home. Rest in peace. That's because I think all you guys, like, other than like Blitz, live close, I want to say. But then every time I think about it, I'm just like, I could go to SGF, but then if I go to SGF, I'll just be there and then I'll be behind on content. So it just always makes sense to stay at home to me rather than actually go to SGF. But people are always asking me, are you going to go to SGF? Companies ask me, am I going to be at SGF? Like we can, show you stuff. And I'm just always like, it just makes sense to just stay at home. Because if you stay at home, I could just make the content right then and there. That's like, and that's kind of like the vicious game about about going to events with content, because it's kind of like there's always that duality of I could go there and it'll be cool to be there, but then if I'm at home, I'm making content, and yeah, and it sucks, but that's like a choice that like actually comes up a lot. Even like I'll give you like a prime example, of how difficult of a choice that can be sometimes. A great example was like the Final Fantasy 16 launch party when I went to that. Now, don't get me wrong, that was actually like one of the best weekends of my entire life, and definitely the correct answer was for me to go there. And I got to meet so many awesome people. Got to meet Yoshi P. Got to meet all of our content friends. But at the same time, too, there was definitely gears churning in the back of my head, thinking, "Oh man, if I was at home, I could be streaming." And yeah, and so there's definitely always that thought process happening as a content creator. So um, you win some, you lose some, but yeah, ultimately, I do think that going is oftentimes better than not going. I think. I guess making content from the hotel room isn't really practical. No, it totally is. Actually, it's very practical. Like that's like Blitz pilled. That's like Blitz Academy 101. Blitz, like, he brings his whole setup. Excuse me, I'm adjusting the camera. But Blitz brings his whole setup. Like he's got like his laptop and everything that he brings, and he uses all that um to make content in the hotel, like while he's working these events and stuff. Yeah, no. His grind is unbeatable. Whereas like me, I'm just kind of like, fuck, man, I'm here. I just want to chill with the bros and relax. Like, if I'm at an event or something, like I don't want to like do that and work at the same time. Hey, Nice Guy Prince, thanks for all your videos. As for Final Fantasy Tactics, I finally tracked down a PS1 copy last week. So if they announce the remake or remaster, I'm going to feel really dumb. Dark Falcon 129, I don't think you need to feel dumb for that at all. Like, if anything, you got like a very awesome and rare collectible to add to your collection. So, I mean, if I saw a physical copy of Final Fantasy Tactics for PS1 at a decent price, like unless you pay like over the market price for it, I would still be pretty happy to have that. So, um, I don't think that's like a bad deal either way, you know. Hi from Poland? Oh my gosh. Well, hello back from Texas. I'll never forget being too shy to say hi to you by the porta potties at the FF16 event. Oh my god, Joshy Poo. I'm like I am like the most just a guy ever. I'm just a dude. I promise you. I had like some people. I think that was like the first time that like I really realized that some people like actually do like look up to me and respect me. I know that sounds I know that sounds terrible, or like I don't know, but like that event kind of like was like the first time where I like realized that, oh, people like me and shit. I know that sounds crazy, right? Because like you know, like there's only so much that you can get through like um I guess through like comments and stuff. And then like when you have people in person, like, yo, I really look up to you and respect you and I think you're cool and like I love like what you work on. Like when you get to meet people in person, it's like, oh shit, man, people actually I actually do a thing that matters to people. That's cool. Like it's real. And so yeah, that event probably was like one of the best um, weekends of my life for sure. Just getting to actually like really meet people and immerse in um, this all being real, the community all being real, people being real. We all look up to you and respect you. Thank you so much, Dark Rocket. I appreciate it. Hey, NSP, finally able to catch up on a stream for once. How are you doing, man? I'm great, bro. I'm great. Um, it's been really good. I think I think we're all in a good place. I think everything is like really coming together. I haven't been able to stream much recently, mostly because most of my efforts just go to grinding videos right now. I do want to return to streaming frequently. I feel like I'm always talking about returning to streaming frequently, but it'll happen eventually. Have you heard any updates about FF13 trilogy re-release? I don't even think we have a reputable rumor about FF13 happening right now. But I don't think you should worry either because I do think FF13 remaster is like inevitable. Like I don't think it's it's something that's like not in the works, let's just say. Nico, thank you so much for the tier 1, brother. How you doing? Hope you're doing well, brother. Thank you so much for joining us on the state of getting played. Subtext, my guy, thank you for the tier 1 and 33 months. Did I miss the show? Did they announce Bloodborne 2 and KH5 yet? No, actually, they announced Bloodborne 3 and KH6. But thank you. Um, no, we still have 42 minutes. You seem really chill and likable. It's nice when you two people aren't all about bait and toxicity. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. I might be a little bit of a baiter, like 10%, but I'm not toxic. I promise. uh, Parasite Eve fans rise. Now that's real delusion. I applaud the fuck out of that. That's like S tier plus delusion. I love that. That's so awesome. That's cool as fuck. Parasite Eve, bro's like, nah, fuck FF17. Let's just go straight to Parasite Eve. That's what I want to see. No, I want to see that too. State of getting played. How have I never seen this joke before? I have no idea. It seems like an obvious joke, but I feel like I'm the only one that ever makes it. Like, if I was a Nintendo fanboy, especially, I would always be like, yo, it's the state of getting played. State of Prey is also a really funny one, too. Thanks to Big Guy. uh, Apparently, like, from SGF, which I'm bundling into State of Play, we're supposed to get some pretty solid like announcements from Japanese partners. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm eating blueberries for anyone wondering. Bro, I think every time we have this event, there's like 20 people in here spamming Silk Song and it like never fucking happens. Like it never happens. So, Nintendo Direct doesn't give us much runway without embellishing too much to be clever. Nintendo Direct to the trash. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You really can't do much with it. You can't pun on it too much. I think like, wordplay with Nintendo kind of like peaked early with Sega when they came up with Nintendo. Like that was it. It like there's nothing else you can really do other than Nintendo. Kuzunoha, thank you so much for the super chat. I can't take much more of this, man. How many times are we gonna get cock teased with Final Fantasy Tactics Prince? Okay, today is the day. I promise you. I promise you. I feel very confident about it being announced today. Yasumi Matsuno on Twitter retweeted the direct. And if you guys know anything about especially Japanese devs, whenever they like retweet a state of play, they typically do that when they know they got a game that's about to show off, like that they've worked on at the event. And then adding to it being more sus, he fucking deleted it. So, I mean, it's one thing if he retweeted it and it just stayed there, but him retweeting it and deleting it makes it even more sus. That's like a classic move. Yeah, we've seen this one before. We've seen this one before a lot. Basically, he retweeted it, and then someone at Square Enix probably called him and was like, "Hey, bro, the marketing department says don't do that shit," and he had to delete it. That's what happens most of the time. We've seen this one before. Common playbook. So I do think that Tactics Remaster is very likely to happen. And then there was another incident where Jason Schreier, who is a very in the know journalist, happened to just tweet out like, "Hey, Final Fantasy Tactics is the best like Final Fantasy game," or something like that. He said. So I found that really interesting for him to just like suddenly mention FF Tactics at the same time Yasumi Matsuno is you know. So I do think that I do think it's gonna happen. FF9 gonna be at the next Nintendo Direct, do you think? Um I think it's gonna be a while longer. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that game. I'm kind of I'm kind of worried about it honestly. It's just been so long and I don't know. It's weird, but we are getting tactics now, so maybe that means it's not much longer. I don't know. Is the rumor 2026 for FF9? I think Nate the Hate said he thinks 2026 for FF9. Foam Stars 2? Maybe. My personal North Star dream is getting to work on a miniseries adaptation of FF Tactics. Is what happened to Kingdom Hearts? Jacob, what happened to the Kingdom Hearts animated series? I thought we were doing that. Grand Lobo, thank you so much for this super chat. I'm hopeful for Parasite Eve remake, or at least sale 1 and 2 on PS5 store. or Dino Crisis or FF9 Remake, Parasite Eve is top of my list. Grand Level, thank you so much for the super chat. And I agree, guys. I think that we're actually overdue for Parasite Eve's return. I think that right now is like really a prime time for Parasite Eve's return. And I hope that Square Enix is working on that somewhere. I think it'd be foolish to not be working on it in any capacity, because I do think that it's a really, really good time to bring back Parasite Eve. Now, part of the reason it's a good time to bring back Parasite Eve, I know this is funny, but we also can't pretend that things like exist in a void. But Resident Evil's popularity is actually a very good fucking reason to bring back Parasite Eve right now. Legitimately. Legitimately. Because there's enough overlap in potential audience for Parasite Eve to bring in audience from the Resident Evil camp, let's just say, from that audience. So a lot of people that are interested in that would be interested in Parasite Eve. So I actually do think that like right now, during like this massive peak in Resident Evil popularity, would be a really awesome time to bring back that series. Parasite Eve should be a mix of RE and 7R system. Yeah, if they can make that work, that'd be dope as hell. So it's a great time to bring it back. I hope they do. I hope someone somewhere is working on it, but we'll see. I feel like play with my contrast a little bit. I feel like I'm too bright. That's a little bit better. Actually, I could turn. Uh-oh. You're like right there. Blitz would lose his mind. Oh yeah, Blitz is a huge Parasite Eve fan. So I think now would be a really good time to bring it back. And yeah. I think a Dino Crisis remake is inevitable. I wouldn't even be worried about that, honestly. I think they are going to do it. Capcom is just doing it exceptionally well right now, guys. Like, exceptionally well. Like, as good as it can be. And what's really cool is their PC sales, which has been really fascinating. Because they say that 54% of Capcom's sales now are PC. Which, I mean, I've been trying to tell Square Enix. Not like in a formal way, but through content. Hey, you know, we need to get these games on PC day one. Look at what Capcom is doing. Look at what, Elden Ring Night Rain, which, by the way, sold more on PC. Expedition 33, which actually sold more on PC than PlayStation, actually, too. And not to say that, like, day one Final Fantasy games would necessarily sell more on PC or not. But the fact is that they would sell a lot, right? Monster Hunter Wilds sold more on PC than it sold on console. So it doesn't make, they just gotta get on PC. Like, they just do. Like, it's really big. I can show you guys some data real quick. Give me one sec. That I think is really interesting. Because this guy's a marketing analyst, and he posts what the estimates that his firm gets, which is really cool because a lot of firms don't make the data that they get public. And that sucks because you have to pay for it, and it's expensive, and we don't get to know a lot. Oops. I have myself there. That's wrong. Okay. That's right. There we go. Sweet. So, I found this interesting. Because this was the copy sold on Steam, right? So this was just for the month of May. And we got some really good sales for Elden Ring Night Reign, for Expedition 33. Fantasy Life also here too. Ranking particularly high. Hold on. But we also have the PlayStation sales here, which I found pretty interesting. So, something like Claire Obscure is actually selling way more on PC. Again, this is just the May sales, obviously, because the game's at 3.3 million. 752,000 on PlayStation versus PC, where it's selling almost fairly close to double that. Oblivion Remastered, 190K on PlayStation versus on PC, where it is selling double that, almost triple, really, nearly 600K actually. So, all of which is to say, Square Enix, get your ass on PC day one, please. Like, it's like not even, it's it's expected, it's necessary. It's a lot of games are also just selling more on PC because you don't know which platform something is going to take off more on. Which is to say, sometimes games will sell more on PlayStation, and sometimes they will sell more on PC. Now, if they're multiplayer especially, they tend to sell more on PC. But even that's not necessarily the case, because for whatever reason, Expedition 33 has blown the fuck up on PC. Oblivion, also selling more on PC, but that's kind of a mouse and keyboard game with mods and stuff like that. And so you just need to be on both of those platforms simultaneously. Crossy, what's up? Good to see Fantasy Life doing well after years and years of issues from level 5. Oh yeah, for sure. Best performing game for them since Yokai Watch 4 or something. I just want them to make Dark Cloud 3, brother. That's all I've been hoping for. I think Remake should expand upon the original and add stuff they couldn't do during the first go around and really push the hard work. Grand Lobo, thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, of course. You know, I like when remakes do have like their own artistic integrity to them more than just, here's the thing again, but slightly better. Something I definitely appreciate about, like the a lot of the additions that are available in the Final Fantasy VII remakes and the Resident Evil remakes and those sorts of things are really cool. Guys, let me get water really quickly. Only 2 seconds, because my throat is going to be dry as fuck without water. So give me like 1 second. Let me get some water. Okay. Let's fucking go. I'm back. I drink a lot of water in a day. I'm still out here waiting for Decapolice. Anyone else remember that game, now more infamous for its delays? I need to rewatch those trailers to give me hope. Level 5 were the goats only like 10, 15 years ago. So sad how much they have fallen. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. But mismanagement like adds up really fast in game dev. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I literally just ran up the stairs or ran down the stairs and ran back. If you drink a lot of water, you should probably add a hydrate redeem for channel points. I should. I never do anything with my channel points. When's it starting? It is starting in 35 minutes. Kingdom Hearts 3.5, one half is going to Shadow Drop. I know. I'm going to be real with you guys, and it's probably not the most popular take, but like, I actually do miss the drip feed of information for like Square Enix stuff. Like, I do. Like, getting like a trailer for a Kingdom Hearts game, like, way before it's fucking ready. I actually do miss the drip feed. And like, maybe a hot ass take. I think you guys were wrong about the drip feed. I think all the motherfuckers who are like, don't announce the games until they're ready. I think that y'all are fucking wrong, actually. Like, I'm sorry. I know that's not a popular take, but I actually think, like, in retrospect, like, knowing what we know now with the information, like, that wasn't like a wrong assessment to have, but like, what about Final Fantasy 15? I actually think that was instrumental to Final Fantasy 15 selling 10 million copies. And especially doing 5 million copies on day one and becoming the fastest selling FF ever. It was the long game, baby. It does build hype. It does. And honestly, it kept the community alive, right? And one other thing too, excuse me, sorry. I loved when we got like to like look back on the game's development and see all the things that kind of change about a game before it comes out. I thought that was awesome. I loved it. I thought it was great. I didn't mind the build up, seeing the HUD change like 20,000 times. You know? Do we have any rumors on what Yoshi P is working on? We don't know. He's probably working on Final Fantasy 16 too. I'm kidding. I hope. I don't think there is anything inherently wrong with drip feeds. The issue is that the drip feed was over 10 fucking years, and then 90% of that formation was left on the cutting room floor and built insurmountable expectations that could never be met. The positive you describes are IMO or actually toxic for a game. Again, though it's relative, if a game is only a year or so away from release, then yeah, drip feed me all day. Well, I think that like Versus was like the most extreme situation with it, right? So, Jonah, hello. Thank you. I'm glad to hear my face is glowing. I wouldn't mind a 16-2 personally. So, okay, so here's the thing. If there was a 16-2, there's like an 80% chance I would actually like it. Which is kind of fucking funny. But like, I'll give you an example. Final Fantasy 13, base game. Not a huge fan. Final Fantasy 13 2. Unironically fucking love that game. And here's the reason. They were able to correct a lot of the feedback and a lot of the stuff I just didn't like about the first 13. And they put a lot of good shit into 13 too, and it actually ended up being a much more fun game for me with a much more interesting story. And building on a world that I found kind of interesting, but going in a different direction with it and making it really interesting with the different timelines and how they implemented those and how you could explore them. I actually found it really interesting. So, if there was a 16.2, like regardless of like what I felt about the first game, it would still be possible for me to like it. Like I still wouldn't be like I don't like blindly hate it. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be like, oh, 16. I'm like, nah, I wouldn't be like that. Like if that ever did happen, I would just be like, well, um, sure, I'll give it a shot, and hopefully they take some of the feedback about the first game and like make it better, you know. So I wouldn't blindly hate it just because it's 16 too, but I would like want to see more of it. But like, yeah, has to be good. But also too, I don't think that any more like existing FF spin-offs should be the priority right now. So I wouldn't be like, oh, they should do more FF16 or more 7 or even more 10, honestly, at this current moment. I don't think that's the current course of action that should be taken. They should be focused on brand new Final Fantasy stuff and not we have more spin-offs of existing FF properties. Because I don't think that's really going to help them right now in their current situation. I think that their current situation calls for brand new properties and they need to build IP and build recognition. And then we can, talk about Dash 2s again and expanding IP and or expanding the breadth of options, I guess, within an IP. But like right now, we need to talk about like making a Final Fantasy that has a level of financial, cultural, and there's a third thing I'm looking for, but a lot of impact in like multiple different ways that like basically is the result of like a 10 million plus seller. That's what they're ultimately looking for. That's why they keep trying so much different shit. It's because they've been looking for that 10 million plus seller that can bring the level of financial, cultural, and general impact to the company again, to the brand, and be like a major player again. Yeah, commercial success for sure. And not to say that like, necessarily that everything that they've made recently has been a financial bomb, because they've had some pretty decent successes with stuff like Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D. But for Final Fantasy, the problem has just been the lack of growth for the series, which has been a problem that they've been trying to address for a really long time. Honestly, it's been a problem they've been trying to address since like post 10 is like really where they started to like want to grow the brand even further. 13 was kind of the first attempt to move away from a command, well, not move away from a command style, I shouldn't say, but try to create a very dynamic command style that looked and felt more like action. Arguably, even 12 was really trying to do that, where it kind of kept the command style, but it was still, you could move around and explore. I still kind of consider 12 to be like just like a standard ATV game in a lot of ways. And I say that because it basically is a command game, just like you can walk around. It's not and the reason I say command RPG is because that's kind of the Japanese understanding of the genre, whereas we here in the West call it turn-based, right? And so a lot of the times the terminology turn-based, people will say, oh, well, the ATB games aren't turn-based. But it's like, they fucking are. It's just the fact that we here in the West call command RPGs, we call them all turn-based. um, but in Japan, they call them command-based RPGs or command RPGs. And so their understanding of a command RPG would be that Final Fantasy 13 is a command RPG. But Final Fantasy 7 Original is also a command RPG. And Final Fantasy 12 is a command RPG. And Dragon Quest series is a command RPG. And so, yeah, all those games are games where you select the command, and selecting commands through a menu is the primary way in which you do battle. So if you ever read like Japanese interviews, more than the word turn-based, you're actually going to see the word command RPG. So yeah, Final Fantasy 12 is not a turn-based game, but it is a command RPG. So 12 uses the active dimension battle system, which for all intents and purposes is the ATB system, but in full real time. Once you are in a zone or things have loaded in, their individual timers go off, but there is no universal clock behind the scenes. I personally love it. Yeah, exactly. So that's why I say it's still in the realm of command RPG. So for a lot of people, like the deviation for Final Fantasy started at like 12, right? Like in terms of like big, like this is no longer turn based. We're no longer in Kansas type scenario. But like for me, when that really started was Final Fantasy 13. I mean, not 13, 14. I mean, 15. Debatably, actually 14 though. Because FF11 is a command RPG. It is ATB. So you could actually argue that 14 is the first non command RP. Well, I guess I don't know if you consider like doing a rotation to be commands in the same way. I guess it kind of is. 14 1.0 had elemental weaknesses, didn't it? I'm fact checking that. Yeah, 14 1.0 actually had elemental weaknesses. What the fuck? Interesting. 12 and 13 were a shift to a different style of command based, and then 15 is just completely a different gameplay genre, right? To the YouTube comment saying active turn battle. No, active time battle. Yeah, it's active time battle. Yeah. So, I mean, okay. So, first of all, what Final Fantasy fans mean when they say go back to turn based, they really mean go back to command based. I think that that's what they're really looking for. Again, it's like a small difference in language. We in the West here understand command based as turn based. So, generally speaking, if you say ATB is a turn based system, I don't disagree. And like in a weird way, if you say like FF12 is a turn based system or FF13 is a turn based system, I still kind of don't disagree because, again, like under the understanding that turn-based is command-based, like in the way we typically see it in the West, I would say, yeah, it's a turn-based game. Like FF13, I would say is a turn-based game. But I'm saying turn-based to be synonymous with command-based. In terms of actual nuance, of course, there's a difference between turn-based and command-based. But I think most people are just looking for command-based. Right? So, I mean, that's why, people will say that 7R is a command game, right? Like, so And that's what you'll see. Like if you actually go read Japanese discourse on 7R, like they call it a command game. They say, oh, it's a command based game. Um, so yeah. The main difference though is that with 7R, it's still considered a hybrid between command and and action. I guess we here in the West, we consider anything that's not real time responsiveness, as in I can act at any moment, parry, dodge. Um, we basically consider that to be turn based in some way. If you can't actively at any point make a move and it's not on any type of cooldown or build up, then we're like, okay, well then it's turn based. The kind of Japanese terminology for it, again, command based, makes a lot more sense for that distinction. Even dropping the command distinction, FF13 is just as turn based as any ATB game. No, you're not wrong at all. You're not wrong at all. It's just made to look like and sped up so that it looks less like it's turn based, like less like it is um like it's been like kind of the same-ish thing before. But I do consider FF13 to be under the turn-based family of games. Like I absolutely do. But that's also why I say, and controversially enough, I'm just going to say it before we get into the state of play, so you'll forget that I said this by the time we get in there. That's also why I say that I haven't seen enough evidence personally after these past few games, when we're looking at the sales, that they would necessarily reach a significantly bigger audience simply by being action. Okay, go ahead and ratio me now. Go ahead and beat my ass. I think I think the question for me at this point would be more like, actually no. No, I was going to say could they potentially reach more new people, but they haven't significantly. So yeah, I think that they could put out a turn-based command-based, sorry, FF game now, and it'd probably still do the same numbers. Honestly, that's what's funny about all this shit, is that we argue about action versus turn-based. We're gonna buy that shit either way. Like we all just talk. Like Final Fantasy fans, like the core audience are gonna buy that shit either way. Really. Of course that's the thinking, right? That the thinking is that because we're going to buy it either way, they thought that like casuals won't buy it either way though. And so if you do shift to action, those casuals might buy it either way. But it really seems like that hasn't like made any difference. Kaze, SSB, thank you so much for the bits. Sorry for the repeat, but I'm curious if you knew that the Tweeby creator just left Square Enix. Yeah, I saw that the other day. I don't want to be negative, but I really think Tweeby as a franchise is cooked, if I'm like completely honest. I say this as a Tweeby enjoyer, but I do think we're cooked. Neo just did not sell nearly enough. And when you add that onto the fact that one of the biggest internal champions of the game has left, yeah, I just don't see it going anywhere from there, which is, it sucks because I think that was like one of the coolest IPs from Square Enix. And yeah. I I remember when Neo was coming out and people hated the Persona comparisons, but I was like, yo, let the Persona comparisons happen. actually. Let people be like, oh, this is Square Enix Persona. Um, because I thought that would have been really good for the marketing, actually, for people to make that comparison. Because then you would have had that audience coming in. I know this is completely fucking irrelevant, but it's just the thought that I had about that. Because I was like, oh man, I was like, I wish people would like, you can get 2 or 3 million Persona fans to be like, oh, this is like this game is just like Persona play, and they play it, and it's basically nothing like Persona other than like, oh, it's in Japan, and it's modern, but and there's like a calendar system kind of, but at the end of the day you would have tricked like 1 million people into buying it and the game would have kept going, so that would have been awesome. SE assumed for every one core FF fan that stops buying it because it became an action RPG that they would pick up 5 to 10 casual AAA action game fans, but this only seems to have worked for FF15. Yeah. So my original assumption was that that Final Fantasy would do exactly that, and I thought that like FF15 was a prime example of that because FF15, I think maybe not like, let's just say, no disrespect, Noctis, maybe not the most well perceived Final Fantasy game ever, but it still sold like, second best selling FF game of all time. And so there kind of was like a thought like, okay, well, it sold really well. Action FF games must be positioned to sell like extraordinarily well. And I don't think that was necessarily the case when I look back at 15. I think that 15's marketing was really incredible. And I think the DLC also generated a long tail for the game. People kept buying and playing it because of the DLC. DLC generated a lot of social media hype. I will tell you, as a Final Fantasy 15 content creator, back when I first started doing YouTube, every time there was new DLC, every time there was a new patch, it exploded. People were very fucking interested. The problem with Final Fantasy 15 is that whenever new games came out after FF15, FF15 was weaponized against those games. And there were a lot of people really disappointed with FF15 despite how well it sold. And so when Final Fantasy VII Remake was first announced, when FF16 was first announced, there was an overwhelming abundance of comments, at least in my comment section and the ones that I've seen adjacent to me, where everyone was like, that shit looks like FF15 to me. I'm not playing it. There were a lot of people saying that. And so FF15 was a big disappointment since it was incomplete and had a fragmented vision due to director changes. It sold well, but it hurt the brand and it hasn't recovered. That's kind of it, yeah. I think that it selling well might have actually did more harm than good. Because it kind of burned a lot of people from it selling well. The marketing was really good, but then the game left a lot of people disappointed. And even Yoshi P, when he talked about promoting 16, was kind of like, well, fuck, a lot of people are fucking pissed because FF15 wasn't complete and it had a lot of issues. And now those people are taking it out on 16. And he was right. He was right. Anecdotally, again, from my own experience in the comments, overwhelming abundance of people were just like, I'm not playing that shit because FF15. And it really does make me think too, Um, you know, would 16 have done better if FF15 wasn't there to kind of bring it down, in terms of like people being against it before it even released because of how they felt about 15? When talking about the sales of FF games, and 15 in particular, and 7 actually, but a can of worms and all that, people need to get a much better understanding of the power of marketing and what 10 years of hype and expectations culminating in a fucking world tour to release the game can actually do. People use sales as this weird metric of definitive of worth. By that metric, Chrono Trigger is a relative failure, seeing as it took to this year to sell 5 million, wasn't it? Sales are useful, but not absolute metric that needed to be viewed in context, right? Yeah. I mean, a game's success is very multifactorial, right? Because you have sales, you have cultural impact, um, you have how the fandom receives it, you have the actual critical score. So it's really hard to take one singular thing. And even then, all those things can be good or all those things can be bad. And then we can still look at the game overall and we can still say, maybe the opposite about it. So, yeah, it's really multifactorial, when it comes to deciding on, if a game did good or bad, the legacy that it left. It's really hard to say outside of even just sales and reviews a lot of the times. Bro, when I played 15 for the first time in years for the Resident Arc stream, it was so rancid to control that I realized I would never ever play it again. Yeah, I don't think I played a ton of like a super ton of like action RPGs at the time that 15 came out. So I don't think I mean I kind of knew that controlling it sucked ass, but like in the time between now and the time that I went in back and revisited FF15, I was just blown away that anyone thought making a game control like that was okay. I was blown away. I was like, why would you think like the way the dodge works and the way that like the attack works, like why would you think that was okay? Like NSP's laughs always make me happy. Okay, good. I fear that my laugh is obnoxious. Okay, good. Earthbound is arguably the most important and influential JRPG of the 90s, especially on the modern indie scene. Cough Undertale, that game, if we only focused on sales like Twitter brain rot fucks do, is a complete and abject failure. Um, Bro, I had someone arguing with me about like they were trying to be like E33 is a failure because look how much Elden Ring Night Rain is selling. I was like, what the fuck are you even saying? Why is this even an argument discussion? Like I cannot think of two things that like should not be compared than like an asset flip of a 30 million plus selling game and like a double A game made by like a small studio and like what multiplayer and like single player JRPG. I'm like, what are we talking about, man? Like what are we doing? Twitter is very anti-intellectual. Nikki, thank you. I'm glad I look good today. Yeah, it's just hard. Sales is very relative, right? It's very relative to the game, to the scenario that the company is going through, um, to multiple things. So you really can't just say, I'm going to go ahead and put on the stream since we're starting. What is this music? The fuck? Okay, hold on one second. Give me one second, chat. theater mode. Should be a perfect fit. Boom. Twitter is often a lot of posturing and tribalism. You can be as polite and good faith and friendly as possible, and someone will still wish the worst on you. Yeah, I mean, Twitter is essentially PvP social media. That's like the only way I know how to describe it. Most of the time on there, I just want to have like a good discussion with people about games. But then I remember that most people on there want to ride a fucking corporate schmeat. They don't want to have a good discussion about games. They want to prove that their corporation is better than your corporation. And I'm just like, bro, I don't give a fuck about these corporations. I care about the creatives. I care about the devs. But I don't care about, like, second off like Sony or Microsoft or Nintendo or anything like that. Like, I don't give a damn about like a multi-billion dollar, trillion dollar in some cases companies. Like, be serious. Have you ever played Mana Kima? It's an Altair spinoff with a better version of FF10 combat and has its own sphere grid system. No, but it sounds like I need to play it. What the fuck? M2, thank you for the super chat. Where can I find that game? That sounds interesting. That sounds also like the Cold Steel games, which also have similar systems. I've been told by Crossy many times. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna get in the trails, but I'm waiting for the trails in the Sky remake to properly get in the trails. But everything I've seen of trails is like right up my alley. So, you sound like Chad Warden. Chad Warden. Sup, bitches. It's Chad Warden. Uh, I was saying with you the other day, I think if we actually want to get into the nitty gritty about Square Enix and FF in particular, we will all be going way back to the early 2000s for the reveals of things like FF12, 13 versus the delays for 12, Montano leaving the company, the mess that was Crystal Tools management and the company was being just awful. I hope this new restructuring finally fixes those issues that have lingered around for 20 years now. Yeah, man. I mean, everything that we see now at Square Enix that's like, basically trying to adjust has just been them trying to correct for like late PS2, early PS3 of like how things kind of started going a little bad behind the scenes, and then one thing compounded on top of the other, compounded on top of the other. You know, the whole fiasco with Final Fantasy Versus 13 is a big reason why Kingdom Hearts is kind of behind right now. That right? We should be on Kingdom Hearts 5, really. Not even 4. But again, the whole situation with Versus set us back. I wish Versus 13 was real. Me too, buddy. Me too. Robert Smith, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I'm ready for Tactics remake today. I am too. I'm gonna turn my volume up. Let me see. And then hopefully that way you can hear me adjacent to the music. Maybe right there. Stream audio is a bit loud compared to your mic. Okay. How about that? Okay. I think my mic is just really quiet. Okay. Oh, that might be too loud. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Right there. Okay, chat. We're ready. We're locked in. I'll turn up a little bit. Why I get 2 different sub anniversary messages? That's weird. I don't know. My dream game to show up at the state of play? Persona 6? They're gonna open with Persona 6, by the way. Like, it'll be the first thing we see. It's not cope, chat. It's not cope. It's real. Nine, 8, 7, 6. Oh god, here we go. Okay. Persona 6, let's go! Look, that's Japan right there. Persona 6. Carry. Let's go. Actually, is this like a dragon? Oh, that's copyrighted. That's copyrighted, chat. They're trying to get your boy. They're trying to get my video demonetized, which happens like every fucking state of play. At least on YouTube anyway. Twitch is good though. Oh, this is like a puzzle game. This is a puzzle game, chat. It looks really cool though. And the music was good. But this is a puzzle game.
Running through our veins, heartbeat, love is making waves.
Lumines Arise. Cool.
Hello from Enhance. I'm Tetsuya Mizuguchi.
ディレクターの石原隆です。ルミネスアライズのトレーラー楽しんでいただけたでしょうか。この秋、プレイステーション5、PSVR2 対応で発売予定です。ルミネスアライズはバラエティ豊かな曲と美しいビジュアルが没入感を高め、いつまでも遊びたくなるゲーム体験となっています。その世界はとても心地よく、プレイヤーを共感覚の世界へと導きます。
よくある普通のパズルゲームってことだよね。テトリスエフェクトを一度遊んだことがある人はわかると思いますが、ルミネスアライズはただのパズルゲームではありません。
夏にシングルとマルチプレイの体験版を配信予定です。ぜひ皆さん手に取って遊んでみてください。
Thank you and enjoy the rest of State of Play.
Yeah, it's gonna be Persona 4. Not that I'm disappointed. I like Persona 4 to be clear. I just, you know, between the two.
The future. It isn't just a dream. It's a promise. One we're turning into reality. With our third generation of Luna filament and advanced generative AI,
What?
we're reshaping the line between dreams and reality. We create life for our
Neo
future.
Midgar?
Delphi Corporation.
Let's see about getting passed through to Earth. And why are these things trying to kill us?
There you are. All better.
That's me.
Oh. Yeah. Pragmata.
I am DI-03367. They are pragmatic.
Hang on a second. Don't you have a name or something? I'm good.
Chat, it's Death Stranding 3.
I think I can help.
It's Death Stranding 3, chat.
Neutralizing threats.
Neutralize us?
Looks like we're gonna have to fight our way through. What the?
Bypassing first and second firewalls. Hooking control protocols. Initiating hack.
Hey, D.I.
I said I am DI.
Okay. Look, how about we call you Diana?
Diana?
Oh. It's real. Wow. Nice. Let's go. That's funny. Dude, it's been so long since they've last shown that game off. It's been a long time. It's real XD, you mean. I know. The XD was great.
Oh, hey, today is Saturday, which means curry time.
Awesome, I love curry.
Speaking of curry, apparently the current president is actually a human.
Crazy if her name was DEI. I was thinking it that the whole time.
Time.
Dio? That'd be funny too.
Romeo, stay with me. Grandpa, I'm gonna die. Romeo, listen up. You're gonna die in about 15 seconds. Seriously? Seriously, don't worry. I made this just in case. The Dead Gear life support system. Don't move, okay?
What the fuck?
You're already half dead. From now on, you're half dead man. No, wait, that's pretty lame. Dead man. From now on, you're dead man.
I'm a dead
Chat. What? Eggsy, I love you too.
Romeo is a dead man. Coming 2026. Maybe.
Huh?
Maybe.
It's Grandpa's voice. Are you like a spirit? I'm on your back. What?
Ah, it is Suda 51. Nice.
皆さんこんにちは。グラスホッパーの役者の須田剛一です。いえ。皆さんトレーラーどうでした？グラスホッパーの久々の新作ルミオイザデッドマンです。 いよいよ発表できました。このゲームはですね、主人公のロミオが、ロミオスターゲーザーという名前なんですけど、かっこいいでしょ。時空犯罪 FBI 捜査官として、凶悪なですね指名手配犯をさまざまな時空に飛んで、倒していく、そんな、ブラッディなアクションゲームとなっています。そして今回はですね、剣だけじゃありません、銃も使えます。ストロングスタイルのアクションゲームとして、チーム一丸となって頑張って作ってます。そしてなんで、タイトルがですねロミオなのにデッドマンなのか、それは皆さんぜひ続報をお待ちください。プレイステーション30周年過ぎちゃいましたけど、おめでとうございます。それでは引き続きステートオブプレイをお楽しみください。
Nice. Oh shit, Silent Hill.
どこ行くの？こっち通るの珍しいね。
今は誰かと喋りたくて。
What the fuck?
私も後から行くね。
じゃあね。
裏切り者。
誰もいないの？足の悪いおばあちゃんまでいないなんて、こんなの絶対に変。誰もいないし、気味の悪い怪物がうろつき回ってるし。いや、ひなこ。
Oh shit. Perry! Perry! Oh man, this game looks awesome.
Hinako. どこにいるの？ひなこはいいよね。何でも持ってる。そんなあんたがいなくなってくれるんだからせいせいする。一人は嫌だよ。寂しいよ。ずっと一緒だよって約束したよね。暗いのは嫌。
Dude, this looks awesome.
一人ぼっちは嫌。
Robert, thank you so much for this super chat. This game is supposed to be ultra violent. I can see it. Oh, this September? This September? What? That's very soon after the Silent Hill 2 remake. Wow. Holy shit. We will be there. Okay. Okay, so far so good. State of play. Is this...
The castle has been sighted again. The Church's orders are absolute. These human sacrifices must be stopped.
Wait, actually...
Track the ethereal castle, break its gates, and exterminate the creatures that dwell within.
Wait, what?
The Demon Lord himself will fall by our hand. This mission will test the limits of your courage. You will face horrors beyond your darkest imaginings. Beasts that defy reason. Creatures born of pure darkness.
Yeah, what is this?
Thousand Blossom! Die Jaw! On the floor! With me! Cross Reaper!
This looks cool.
Tonight, we start our mission.
Bloodstained? What? This is a sequel to Bloodstained? What?
So you've come, trolls of the church, right into the palm of my hand.
The visuals of Shinjuku that I'm seeing are a hellscape I can't quite put into words.
Digimon! Let's fucking
We've somehow
go.
been sent back in time 8 years. But the situation here is critical. I'm counting on you, Agent.
Digimon story Time Stranger? The fuck?
Our ultimate mission is to uncover the causality between these anomalies.
It's probably a phase electron.
Bro, this is like all Japanese games so far.
Call us Digimon? I'll always be right here with you.
Who exactly are you working for? I remember you guys.
Who or what is that?
You really don't know anything about the digital world?
We have been enemies for years now, but this is the first time the Titans have launched an attack on this scale.
We now believe most of the anomalies we've been dealing with stem from Digimon.
It seems the upcoming battle is truly unavoidable.
The world on this end is running out of time.
If the gate is opened with the digital world in such a state, the human world will most certainly be affected.
Do the Titans not care about the end of the digital world?
Stop it! That egg is very important!
The World Tree has been attacked. It is just as the Great One, Plutomon, said.
It can't protect anyone. We must protect the world from them. For this purpose and this purpose
This
alone.
looks tight as fuck. I'm sorry, it does.
Attack! Please, everyone, lend me your strength.
Everything's riding on
to
you.
move forward into the future.
We must fulfill our mission. Agent.
I think this looks tight. Oh, and it's coming this year. It's coming this October, dude. Let's fucking go. Digimon Story Time Stranger. We will be there, chat. We will be there. Oh! Oh! It's happening. Final Fantasy Tactics, boys.
Abandon not your way with children of Ivalice, but deliver us from our sins, that we might know salvation.
It's here. Okay.
If you feel wronged, blame yourself or the Father.
Why do you fight? Why walk this path
Oh my
of
god, it's
subterfuge and
real.
conflict?
The powerful must rule the weak. It is our duty.
Heavens fall upon your crown!
This vile charade has gone on long enough. It ends now.
The Ivalice Chronicles. That's what they're calling it.
When your father showed us how to make a whistle of a blade of grass.
How'd they stray apart? Classic and enhanced. Okay, so you can play with the classic graphics. I think I will play with the classic graphics. Because it does kind of look like they just put like a filter on the graphics.
Hi everyone, I'm Sean Benson.
And I'm Sid Schumann, here to deliver news and release dates for games coming to PS5 later this year.
The active time lore stuff is back from November 16th. Oh, that's cool.
We hope you enjoyed that first look at Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles. The game will include 2 versions of the original PlayStation Classic. The enhanced version, which features improved graphics, fully voiced dialogue, refined gameplay, and much more, as well as the classic version, which brings a faithful recreation of the 1997 original to modern consoles.
Oh, that's super cool. That's super cool. That's how they should do
Final Fantasy
remasters in
Tactics,
general.
The Evil East Chronicles launches
September
on PS5
30th?
and PS4 September 30th, and
Awesome.
will be available for pre-order later today.
Okay, the improved graphics are really not that improved, if I'm
This
honest.
next game is something really special. When I first played it, I laughed so hard I almost barfed.
Yeah, it
Let's
does seem
check it
that
out.
like it's going to be fully voiced, but yeah, the improved graphics are not really,
toilet.
not really that improved.
How badly? Just normal. Bad. Hey, just go behind this bush. I'll wait.
I can run away.
Pea shy.
No.
Yeah, no, you don't want me watching.
You can watch.
In baby steps, all you have to do is carefully place one foot in front of the other, which
This
is
game
easier
is
said
so
than done.
weird.
Main character Nate requires some pretty deliberate movement to make even the simplest progress. It's a captivating open-world experience filled with oddball characters.
Black Lion Guard, thank you so much for the 5 tier 1 gift subs, dude. I'm so happy. I know, me too. Me too.
Definitely
Thank
check
you
this
so
one
much,
out when
man.
it comes to PS5 on September 8th.
It finally happened. So now we're just missing FF9, guys.
Hirogami is a unique action-adventure title from Bandai Namco Studios
That's
Singapore.
it.
In this journey to save your origami home, you'll transform into paper shapes with distinct abilities.
Maybe I'm just biased. I think they should have
Including
ended with
paper
Final Fantasy
airplane.
Tactics.
A nimble frog,
I hope whatever they end with is like
party
really cool.
armadillo, and a powerful ape.
But I feel like anything that comes after that is just not going to be as hype.
Master the art of folding when Hirogami arrives on PS5 later this summer.
The script seems slightly modified from War of the Lions. I hope it's
Sid,
not
why
changed
don't
too
you tee
much
this next one
because
up?
that's like my
Thanks,
favorite
Sean.
script in
The
all of
Hot
gaming.
Shots
Yeah.
series has been with PlayStation from the very beginning.
Highly
and its
revered.
latest installment, Everybody's Golf Hot Shots, boasts its largest character roster ever. Compete in courses from 10 different regions around the world, each with weather effects and new nighttime variants. Pre-orders begin later today, and those who do will get Bandai Namco's iconic Pac-Man as an early unlockable character. Everybody's Golf Hot Shots drives onto PS5 September 5th.
We will need to confirmation of the classic. Option is the PS1 version or the PSP
Ninja
version.
Gaiden Ragebound is a
Yeah.
challenging new entry in the long-running action franchise.
Hopefully,
From the makers of the
You know, the
Blasphemous
PSP
series,
version,
Ragebound
but
stars dual
we'll see.
protagonists from rival clans.
I have a feeling
forced to
it'll just be
combine
like the
their
PS1
souls and
version.
skills against a demon uprising. And longtime fans will really love the pulse-pounding soundtrack featuring guest composers from the original series. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound arrives July 31st on PS5 and PS4.
nice.
From the game bakers, Cairn is a survival climbing experience where you must carefully plan your ascent up a deadly mountain.
Oh, it's a strand type game. Nice.
Manage balance and stamina to discover secrets.
It's a Breath of the Wild strand type game.
Hey, wait for me!
Encounter other climbers.
I'm Marco. Nice to meet you.
And survive the harsh conditions of the climb.
Vertical Death Stranding? Yeah, basically.
You can give it a try yourself with a demo that arrives later today. That's all from us, but there's still a lot of State of Play to come.
This next reveal comes from the game preservationist at Digital Eclipse. Nothing can prepare you for their next collection, arriving later this year.
We knew pretty early on that the game was fun to play. People were excited about it.
The most rewarding part of it is just
One of the
seeing
worst
people
State of
react
Plays
to it.
ever? No way, dude.
We knew that we were onto something.
Sorry, I keep hitting the mic.
Such a
My
shock to
bad.
see this game. I was like, I can't believe this game exists.
Are they bringing back Mortal Kombat? It's kind of crazy that CPU 3 handled the remaster, although they do seem to be involved in Evil East. Yeah, I mean, Evil East is there, so.
We're showing you a part of a world that is much larger.
There was no
Wow, rollback netcode?
It's a bit
That
of
is
a wild
crazy.
west.
That is
Every
crazy.
Part of that game is an expression of who we were and what we wanted to do.
Flawless victory.
Wait, what is this? This looks like hardware. Oh, is it like an arcade stick? It is. First fight stick made by PlayStation? Oh, shit.
Control here.
That's tight. Oh! Let's go!
That guy? No, he's close. Where did he go?
We've lost sight of the enemy. Find him. We're under fire. Enemy position unknown.
Loading like this? It's a revolution.
All right, Commander.
Baby.
Take this. Here comes another one.
Yes.
Get away from me. Time for you to taste some real.
Yes, dude.
What's the matter? I'm over here. Go back to your own world.
Peak is back.
See you in hell.
I'll grind you into nothing.
What the?
Let's fucking go. Ape Escape is back.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Coming out in August. Let's fucking go. Oh man. Oh man. And more?
Spirit stones.
Final Fantasy 16.
Shining stones
I mean
imbued
17.
with humankind's never-ending dreams.
Koei Tecmo.
Since
I saw a
time
crystal.
immemorial, this power has been the impetus for human wars.
Such an ominous atmosphere, and one thick with the presence of Aratama.
Neo 3, I think. I think.
What makes a shogun? Here is my answer.
It's gotta be, right? Damn, this looks so good.
How foolish of you to have entered the depths of hell.
Neo 3, let's go!
Who might you be, warrior?
Tokugawa Takechiyo.
Early 2026. Fuck.
皆さんこんにちは。チーム忍者の安田です。戦国シニゲーシリーズの最新作2王3をついに発表させていただきました。今作のアクションはシリーズおなじみのサムライスタイルに加え、新たに忍者スタイルを追加、より多彩な戦闘を楽しめます。ステージもオープンフィールドとなり、探索や攻略の自由度や没入感が大幅にアップしています。本日よりプレイステーション5で体験版も配信いたしますので、ぜひプレイしてご意見をいただければと思います。2026年の発売に向け、続報にもぜひご期待ください。
That's awesome. PSVR.
How old the city really is. For me, it's all I've ever known. My whole world. I was raised in this city's shadow, free to take whatever I need to survive. This city hides many lost and legendary treasures. Locked away, waiting to be found, waiting to be taken. But some treasures come with more trouble than others.
I thought I was dead. And who are you?
Oh, Thief. Coming to VR? Cool.
Tidewalker, are you there yet? Cleo has uncovered a formula for a cure, but she's keeping it safe in her tower.
Hey, you.
Checking fine print on the Tactics trailer for you. Classic mode uses the War of the Lions script, not the 90s script. Enhanced features, extensive additions and adjustments to the story. The fact that they called it Ivalice Chronicles plurals did make me wonder. There was supposed to be a whole second campaign for Delita after all. That's interesting. Can't believe Eidos is getting to make another Thief game. Actually pretty cool. Yeah. Okay, so that's actually pretty cool. Hopefully that's an addition that they do make.
To use that power.
I've hit the microphone like 10 times today, so I'm sorry for your ears. Yeah, we'll be able to check out more of the tactics stuff after. I'm very curious, so.
Tidewalkers, will you help us?
Hi, I'm Nicholas Doucet, the game director of Astrobot. It's a pleasure to be back today to share more news with you. What a last few months it has been in the world of Astro. Astrobot launched last September to such encouraging feedback, even receiving a few orders we are truly grateful for. In October, we added 5 speedrun levels, followed by a Christmas special packed with festive surprises. And then earlier this year, the Vicious Void Galaxy made its appearance, adding yet more new challenging levels, all of which came at no additional cost. And today, I am pleased to announce that later this month, you will be able to enjoy 5 brand new challenge levels in Astrobot, bringing the total to a whopping 90 planets. And new special bots will be there too, including Atsu from Ghost of Yotei, alongside other fans' favorites, but these ones are a surprise. And
Cloud
finally,
Strife, maybe?
the Astrobot DualSense wireless controller will return later this year, with a slight twist, so be on the lookout for more news coming soon. From all of us at Team Asobi, thank you all for the amazing reception you gave our game, and enjoy the rest of the show.
My old man always said to me, he told me to get a ship. Then it hit me all so clear. No old man just got a ship. Memories go, memories stay, chasing the sound of the waves.
This is probably copyrighted, and I probably already missed my opportunity to mute it. But also, like, what the fuck at the same time. Yeah. Zidane look a little different, just a little bit. Just a little bit. We already got tactics, so I don't know. I don't know. Everything else is just kind of here for the moment. Wait, is this? What the fuck is going on with this combat? Okay. I actually don't know what to make of this game. It does look kind of interesting. Oh, yeah, so we got like 4 minutes left. Huh. Journey? Oh shit. You know, I would, but my capture card on my my capture card on my PC is not working right now. So I don't know if I'd be able to play it on PS5. Unless they have it on PC, then maybe. I have to fix my capture card first. I think whenever I put it in my new PC, I fucked up something somehow. And now it's not capturing anymore. I have to fix it soon though, because otherwise I can't capture PS5 footage, so it is semi-urgent. Oh, Sword of the Sea. So is this like a successor to Journey, but not literally Journey?
Hi everyone, I'm Kristen Zatani. That was a new look at Sword of the Sea, a visually striking adventure from the team behind Abzu and The Pathless. We're excited to announce that Sword of the Sea will launch this summer into the PlayStation Plus game catalog.
Oh.
On June 17th, Remedy brings otherworldly action to game catalog with FBC Firebreak. In this cooperative FPS set in the paranatural world of Control, you and 2 fellow agents must confront and contain the reality-warping chaos found within the oldest house. Fun in short bursts or deep dives, FBC Firebreak launches day 1 into game catalog on June 17th. The PlayStation Plus Classics catalog welcomes several new titles this summer. The PS2 version of legendary immersive sim Deus Ex arrives June 17th. In July, Twisted Metal 3 and Twisted Metal 4 join the service just in time for the second season premiere of Twisted Metal, which arrives July 31st in select countries, including Peacock in the US. Additionally, 2 of Capcom's most beloved games from the original PlayStation are set to join the Classics lineup. Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 will arrive later this summer in the Classics catalog.
That's dope.
Additionally, Myst and Riven will arrive later this month as part of the Days of Play celebration, running now through June 11th. Days of Play is a 2-week event that includes bonus PlayStation Plus content drops, great deals on software and hardware, and more. Visit PlayStation Blog and PlayStation.com for full details.
His parents cut their own rope to save him. He watched them fall, then found his way off that mountain. He was 11 years old.
He then started a grand tour of every major boarding school in Britain.
Always at the top of his class.
Always at odds with authority. Same thing in the Navy.
His superiors all praise his instincts.
And they're all in need of early retirement. Nobody knows what to do with him, Mom.
No, and I suspect he feels the same way. But what he did in Iceland...
What he did in Iceland was insubordination. It was ill-disciplined, utterly reckless. He only survived thanks to blind luck. Give me one good reason to put him in the program, Mom.
I think you just covered them all, Greenway. It's really quite simple. Bond is a bullet.
Oh, is this 007?
Let's give him one.
Do you have an appointment?
The name's Bond.
James Bond. He's with me.
And you are? Don't think we've had the
graphics look pretty
No,
good.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, James.
Like,
so you shouldn't have.
We're facing a situation of the utmost delicacy. I need all my pieces on the board.
009 is a master manipulator. Whatever the endgame is, we won't see it coming.
this looks pretty good, guys. Fuck.
Jet lag gets me every time.
And the graphics are actually really,
With respect,
really
Mom.
nice.
To hell with that.
Is the era of good movie licensed games back? I think so, man. Maybe.
Tell me, what do you do, James? Lately, headhunting.
First Light, 007, man, this looks tight as fuck.
I suppose this is another teachable moment.
Nice. Looks great.
Hello. I'm Hakan Abrak.
Looks like a
CEO
young
of
Tom
Iron
Cruise, a
Interactive.
little bit, yeah.
The team is thrilled to announce 007 First Light. You'll experience James Bond as a young air crewman in the Royal Navy. Before the tuxedo and the martinis, as he first steps into the world of espionage, striving to earn his 00 status. Everyone at Iron Interactive has poured their passion and dedication into crafting an experience that honors the legacy of Bond, harnessing our 25 years of agent expertise. This is just the beginning of our journey with 007, and we can't wait to share more with you soon.
Nice. Dude, this shit looks awesome. Coming next year, I'm about it. PlayStation Studios. Yote.
still with me?
Okay, let's see. Who do we need to time out today?
Kimiのことは親友だと思っているが、やるしかないようだな。ビブラニウムのシールドだけでは私のアーマーには勝てないぞ。よし、本気でやるぞ。くらえおいかよ、耐えてみせろ。
任せてちょうだい。パンチ。私の名前の通りマーベラス。
親愛なるリンディ、スパイダーマンだ。スパイリーセンス。今日もお見事大勝利。
This looks tight.
俺とやり合うってか？調子が出てきたぜ。俺様の名はスターロード。胸に刻んでおきだ。覚悟しやがれ。シュートベルト。攻めたか。
Yeah, this art style is amazing.
たとえ人々に嫌われていても私は世界を守る。さあ耐えられるかしら。
正義のためにこれが私のとっておきだ。
こっちだよ。
全てをやっ潰してやる。抱かれなさい。せや。
またなベイビー。
我々のチームワークは絶対に破れない。
マーベル闘魂ファイティングソウルズ。
Tokon Fighting Souls, okay. Coming next year by Arc System, okay. Max is probably like losing his shit right now. Awesome. Okay. Hold on, let me just get a little bit. Yokohama, Japan.
PlayStation の友人から急になんか飲みに行こうぜっていう連絡が来て、なんのこっちゃと思って、予定合わせて行ったんですけど、ちょっと飲んでる中で実はアークの方でマーベルの格闘ゲームを作ってみないかというような提案をいただきまして、いや本当に聞いた時はびっくりしましたね。で、世界的に本当に有名な IP ですし光栄だなと思いつつも、まず本当にうちの会社で大丈夫かなという不安もあり。
The inspiration for working on this project really came from a place of pure fandom and wanting to say, why isn't PlayStation in this space?
So PlayStation approached us with this vision to bring Marvel back to the forefront of the tag fighting genre. And that got us really excited because we had worked with them before on successful stuff like the Marvel Spider-Man franchise with Insomniac.
When it came to approaching Marvel, you have to kind of first float the idea and let them know, hey, you know, we're thinking about approaching a company like Arc System Works to make a fighting game. We'd love to partner with you to do this really great collaboration. Would you be interested?
When they named the developer, that really perked up our ears. It's always refreshing to work with a team that will take on the challenge of tackling Marvel.
Not the most interesting base roster, but of course they'll reveal more characters as it goes on. Yeah, for sure.
With this team, I mean, they couldn't make something boring if they tried.
社長からも本当に作れるんだったらぜひやりたいねっていうことを言われました。まあ話を受けてしまった以上これは私が
Yeah, I wonder how this affects their relationship with Capcom,
though, right? The thing is that most fans, including myself, see this as a sacred genre for Marvel. The tough part is finding a partner that's crazy enough to take on the task, because you either do something like this big and bold, or you don't do it at all.
I feel like I have a good grasp on their art style and how they would approach certain IPs. You come in with your kind of own expectations of, here's what I would expect to see from Arc System Works when they take on a Marvel IP. And what came up was something that went beyond that.
一番最初にマーベルさんに提出した時はなんとなくマイケルさんの反応はあんまり芳しくなかった印象があって、まあ何がまずいのかなっていろいろこうやっぱり直接話していくうちにもっとアークのやりたいマーベルを見せてくれというような話をいただいたことがあって。
I remember personally the first time I saw Iron Man was really when I felt we had something special.
なので今回のアイアンマンのデザインを皆さんご覧いただければ分かると思うんですけども、かなりこう日本らしいアークシステムワークスらしいデザインっていうのが、出ているかなと思うので、マーベルの皆さんの反応がすこぶる良くて、あ、これなんだみたいないう感じで。
Iron Man is supposed to be the sleek fighter jet, think luxury race car mixed with a brick house.
Marvel versus Persona 4, that'd be funny.
Elements to him just felt really naturally at home.
One of the mantras that we have for this project is from Japan to the world, and really trying to take not just the IP but gameplay mechanics and say, what can we really take from Japan, the creators that are doing awesome work here, and bring that to the global platform.
まあ特別なところいっぱいあるんですけど、まあ本当にやっぱり強調すべきは、まあ格闘ゲームのチームバトルの中では4対4というのがまず本当に意欲的で挑戦的なところだというところと。
When Arc looks at these Marvel characters, it's not simply just the visuals, it's also the gameplay mechanics and adding in that, what is that pop? What is going to be something that's different? Up until now, you've seen tag fighters that have 2v2, 3v3. We felt like we just had to go.
Is this the last game at the State of Play? I think so.
We found a lot of unique and fun ways to change up the gameplay that I think players are going to be very excited to see.
Now this is Final Fantasy
4対4というまあ革新的なところにチャレンジしている中で4キャラクター練習しないと勝てないんじゃないか。
Can't believe Sony is bait rolling an anime tag team fighter and placing it as the grand finale of their big summer State of Play. This Street Fighter, Virtua Fighter is back. Fighting games are back, dude. Hell yeah, they are.
Or you can tag in your assist to swap the leader and change the matchup on the fly.
I don't think a lot of people thought this day would be here, would come. You know, this has just been an awesome journey, and I'm excited that we get to be able to share it with all the fans out there.
I'll tell you right now, a lot of fighting games, they never get to experience this level of production, and it's just a dream to even be working with these two great partners.
それは決してビジネスという枠組みではなくて、それぞれの強い思いの中でこのタイトルを成功させよう、いいゲームにしてファンに届けようと。
The three companies have come together to do this, and I think we really are going to make something magical here.
このタイトルですね、まだまだ開発途中ではありますが、続々とキャラクターも発表していきたいと思いますし、キャラクター以外のコンテンツというところも今後いろいろ出ていくと思います。今しばらく楽しみにお待ちいただければなと思います。Stay tuned.
You're still with me?
It seems the upcoming battle is truly unavoidable.
I mean, to be fair, Square Enix would make FF17 like a fighting game if fighting games were the popular thing at the moment. That's what they would do. So... they'd be like, kids nowadays ask, like, how come I can't fight each other whenever there's games out? So we have to make FF17 a fighting game, because if we don't, they're gonna be confused why they just can't fight each other, and they have to fight like NPCs and shit and enemy characters. And so we have to make FF17 a fighting, like, type of like logic that they work on. So okay, let's see. Do we have anything out about Final Fantasy Tactics? Because that's okay. We got a PlayStation blog post. Cool. Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles. 3 out of 10, 5 out of 10, 4 out of 10. You guys are fucking nuts, dude. That was like a solid 8 out of 10 state of play. What the fuck? That was a solid 8 out of 10, dude. Silent Hill F, Tactics, 007, Yote, Neo 3, at least a 7, at least. But I'd say an 8. Come the fuck on now, bro. 3 out of 10, 4, like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. The presence of this alone, this, and y'all are saying 3 out of 10, 5 out of 10. Come on now, bro. I give it an 8, but not for Tactics. I would give this an 8 even if Tactics wasn't there. Even if there was no Final Fantasy, I would still give it an 8 out of 10. I think lower than a 7 is just being mean, honestly. Like, what else would 6 out of 10? Come on, bro. Like, what else had to be there for it to be like? But also too, I think that a lot of people are just judging this based on like some delusion that they made up in their head about like what should be there, and then it's not there, and then they get mad, right? I'm just judging like what's there. Thank you, Crossy. Tactics Remake or Remaster, Digimon, Pragmata, Silent Hill, Bond, Bloodstain, Yote, Journey Sequel, Marvel Final by Arxis. Anyone saying bad state of play are fucking trolls or jaded beyond belief. Take your biases out of it. It was an objectively good show. It was. Fuck off. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck do y'all want? What the fuck do y'all want? Like, y'all saying, like, anyone saying 6 or less, like, what the fuck do you want? Like, what were they supposed to do? Make up games that don't exist? Like, that was a really solid showing. Like, if you take out, like, your very ultra, like, I don't understand what people want. I feel like these shows just exist to like make people mad. Like, I don't understand. Too many people disregard all the good stuff shown if their most anticipated game isn't shown. But if it is shown, it's a great show for them. Too many people only rate these shows a 5 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of like what it is that like really people have like this one thing in their head, and like if it's there, then like they're excited, and if it's not, then they're not excited. Yote isn't anything new. Well, I mean, yeah, but like you could also argue that like Kingdom Hearts 4 isn't anything new. It's already announced. So why do you need to see more? Just wait for it to come out. Right? You know, you see what I'm saying? Right? Like, $5 out of 10 for Silent Hill F, 5 out of 10 for Pragmata, For FF Tactics? For Journey sequel? For new Arc Systems Marvel fighter? Okay, that's a fair criticism. Yote didn't even show jack shit. That was actually kind of disappointing showing. That's fair. That's fair. I'll take that. I think I would give it an 8 out of 10. I give it an 8 out of 10. I think that's fair. A state of play, any fucking game show update is not just about new, never before seen games, the actual dumb fucks. It's about getting upcoming games in the consumer's consciousness. Are people actually just that? Yeah, I mean, you know, like, I don't discount it just because it's like, you know, not a new reveal. I think that a lot of stuff people want updates on, right? Like, you know, if it's like Final Fantasy 17, let's just hypothetically say, because that's a game that most of both chats really are biased to. We're not going to be like, oh, it's just another FF17 showing. I fucking hate that. I fucking hate that they're showing FF17 again. You know, no one's going to be like that. We're going to be like, oh shit, new FF17. How lovely. You know? Let's take a look at this. So it says originally released in 1997 for PlayStation. Final Fantasy Tactics is one of the most beloved titles in the franchise, known for its rich and deep strategic gameplay. I'm very excited that this classic strategy RPG is coming to PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 this September with the release of Final Fantasy Tactics: The Evil East Chronicles. It says the development team has included 2 different versions of the game so that you can enjoy the title in the way that best suits you. First, we have the enhanced version, which adds fully voiced dialogue, an optimized and updated UI, graphical improvements, and a number of quality of life features, including the more accessible Squire difficulty setting, makes the enhanced version an excellent starting point for first-time players. Those who wish to enjoy Final Fantasy Tactics as they remember it are welcome to play the classic version, which unites the graphics and gameplay of the original 1997 version with the renowned War of the Lions translations for a unique way to experience this beloved title. This version stays true to the original in almost every aspect, but includes some handy features such as autosave. That's a very good feature. I think that these 2 versions will provide the best experience for both the veteran players and those who have had the chance to play Final Fantasy and those who have not had the chance to play Final Fantasy Tactics a try. And both are included with the Evil East Chronicles. For those who are not as familiar with Final Fantasy Tactics, we'd like to introduce the storied world of Evil East and what you can expect when you dive into this adventure of politics, war, and power. Story. Evil East, a kingdom blessed by light of the gods and ruled by the 2-headed lion. A year after her defeat, I'm actually not sure how to say it. Actually, I don't know how to pronounce half of these names. I don't think I've talked about this before, but this would be a good time to talk about it. This will be my first time playing Final Fantasy Tactics, actually. I know it's a big shocker, considering all the other Final Fantasy games I've played. I actually never got around to playing Tactics. So part of the reason I've been excited for this is because it's going to be my first time playing Tactics. I know this is shocking. I know. I've just outed myself as a fake Final Fantasy fan. Fraud alert. I know. I never played it. So this is going to be my first time. Friendship over. I know a lot of people put this in their S tier. A lot of people with very similar taste to mine, such as Jacob here. So I'm very, very, very excited to play this. A lot of people do say it is the best story in the series. I hear that very often. Please play Tactics Ogre before Final Fantasy Tactics. It's the game that convinced Sakaguchi to hire Matsuno. I mean, I own Tactics Ogre, so we'll skip through the story part. I'll let it be fresh for me. Surprisingly, I really don't know that many spoilers for FF Tactics either, so I'll be going into it like insanely fresh. Like I've somehow dodged like all spoilers for this game, despite, you know, being knee deep in Final Fantasy-ness for forever. So that's actually going to be pretty cool. Need to play FF11. I'm playing it right now. I've played a little bit of FF11, not deeply, but I played it, which is funny because I played some of FF11, but I haven't played any of this. So that's actually kind of hilarious. Gameplay is centered around turn-based combat system. As you lead, you gameplay is centered around a turn-based combat system. As you lead, you and your pre-built party into the field of battle. New threats. Lead your party in exhilarating encounters where strategic positioning and forward planning determine the outcome. Use varied terrains of 3D battles to your advantage. Skillfully manipulate the turn order, and victory will be yours for the taking. Okay. So here is where I do have to say, and you guys call me out if I'm out of pocket on this, but I'm not really feeling the so-called remastered graphics. They're not really remastered. This is just like a fucking filter. I appreciate like the full voice acting and everything else they've done, and the fact that they give you the option to turn it off, kind of, but like in terms of the actual effort being put into the graphics, I'm a little disappointed. I thought this was going to be upgraded a little bit more than like what it is. Yeah, they lost me there. I'm excited about the voice acting, but it looks the same. Yeah, it looks the exact same. Arguably, it looks a little worse with this like smoothed out filter shit that they have on here. I just want to play it like with the classic graphics if it's going to be this. I genuinely don't know what they were thinking with that. Every attempt that they've ever made to do something like this, people have always been like, that shit is ugly. Can we just get the original game? And that's probably why they give you an option here to just play with the that's probably why they give you an option here to just play with the classic textures. Because the classic textures, you know, it may look pixelated on a modern screen, but I kind of like the pixelated look more than this filter shit that they have going on here. Like, I'm not a big fan of this. I kind of thought again that they were going to put like a little bit more work into this because, you know, some people thought it would be like maybe HD 2D or whatever. And in some ways you can really argue that this is kind of like, you know, the genesis of like what HD 2D ends up being, the way the isometric 3D here is, and then with the 2D sprites layered on top of it. But shit's a port, to be honest. Yeah, it does feel more like a port than what I would personally call a remaster. Also, because this shit was leaked a million years ago. That's another thing, right? This game leaked 4 years ago, and as a result, I'm really fucking curious why this took more than 4 years to make. Like, what was going on? I mean, sure, the voice acting, right? But visually speaking, they did nothing. They just put a fucking yeah. No, don't get me wrong. I'm sure like the enhancements and the UI stuff like looks like is like really cool, but like it is like a little confounding because again, we found out about this like 4 years ago, which means it's been in development for more than 4 years. It's probably been in development for like 5 or 6, which is just really confusing because it does feel like this probably could have came sooner. I'm sure that they put a lot of work in other places because they talk again about the enhancements to the UI, enhancements to quality of life. Again, this is going to be my first time playing Tactics, so maybe I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm just saying this as a guy who's been waiting on this and who knows a little bit about game dev, but like it does seem a little surprising how long it's taken. That new turn counter on the side of the screen will be useful too useful to go back to the classic version. Original version, you have to pause and open a separate menu to see that, and it's just a list of names, which is hard to track. That is a big quality of life feature. Yeah. So that's really going to be awesome. And the UI looks just updated in general. It looks really nice. So I do like the user interface quite a bit, despite my disappointment with the kind of new graphics that they have going on. Character growth and customizations combine a wide variety of jobs and abilities to craft your very own strategies. As your party grows, they'll gain access to more jobs, each with its own unique abilities. Once learned, abilities can be used after changing to another job, with over 20 jobs to master, including White Mage, Black Mage, Dragoon, and many others from the Final Fantasy series, and hundreds of abilities to learn. You have the freedom to experiment and discover the combinations that best suit your parties. Chocobos and other creatures can be tamed and led into battle. Out on September 30th for PS5 and PS4, Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles launches in a few short months. The game will be available on PS4 and 5. We'll have more to share about the game before then, and are excited to welcome you back, or welcome you for the first time to the world of Ivalice. Okay. Yeah, looks tight as fuck. Definitely not hating. If it sounded like I was earlier. I was just a little bit baffled by some of the graphical upgrades, so to speak. No PC. It's probably coming to PC and Switch. This is just the PlayStation blog, so I'm sure that, let's see. Let me see. Can we get... Let's find out. It does look like it's coming to PC. Yeah, it says here that it's coming to PC. Okay, yep, it's going to be on PC. Sweet. It's also coming to Nintendo Switch, for anyone wondering. So it'll be on all platforms. Is there any more info on that Sea of Remnants game actually looked turn-based? The trailer was confusing. Yeah, it looked action at one point, and then it looked turn-based. So I'm actually not sure. Let me see. Sea of Remnants. Nothing for turn-based. And 4 matches for actions. Not factions. I wanted to see if it's action. Okay. Let's see. Purpose. It actually doesn't even say. The fuck? That's very strange. I really don't know. It's crazy. Every single game announced today besides Yote might combine for 1 million sales. Brother, what about Metal Gear Solid Delta? Oh, it does. Excuse me. It says turn-based strategy. Okay. So it is turn-based. Why did it not come up when I searched turn? Oh, now it comes up. Okay. I guess I did it too fast. And now, okay. So it is turn-based. I think this may explain why FF7's VAs were back in the booth recently, actually, because Cloud is famously in Final Fantasy Tactics. And in War of the Lions Balthier, the protag from the Tactics Advance 2, were also at it. Maybe this time we get Clive. That'd be cool. How many lines, though, does Cloud have in Tactics? Because I always got the impression that he didn't have, like, a whole lot to say. But honestly, I think that he's just back in the booth for Final Fantasy. Well, no, because he wouldn't be back in the booth this late. You know what I'm saying? Like, the voice acting should already be done, I feel like, for Tactics Remaster. And that happened pretty recently. I think he's just actually recording for Part 3. I feel pretty confident on that. And too late for Tactics? Yeah, because he would have been, at the latest, he would have been recording for Tactics like last year. Right? So I feel like it's already locked down. I could be wrong, but how does it make any sense that Cloud is in Tactics? I mean, he is. I mean, he is in there. Cloud is one of the coolest characters in Ivalice, brother. FF9 Remake is not coming. Why would they announce Tactics before 9? This is the 25th anniversary of 9. I doubt it'd be a Game Fest. I don't understand the logic behind this at all. Well, the logic is that, you know, this is a port with some quality of life features, and Final Fantasy IX Remake would be a brand new game, essentially, from the ground up. And that is going to take a lot of time. But Final Fantasy Tactics Remaster and Final Fantasy IX Remake were both part of the NVIDIA leak. So it would suggest that Final Fantasy IX Remake is not a work of fiction. That also doesn't necessarily mean that Final Fantasy IX Remake is going to come out. Because games, you know, go through stuff. Hopefully, though, 9 Remake is okay. You know, like, we did get $300 million worth of Square Enix games canceled, if you guys recall. I would like to think that 9 Remake was not part or one of those games. But there's always a possibility, because who knows what got canceled, right? Like, who knows what got canceled when they canceled, you know, over $250 million worth of video games. So a lot of games died at Square Enix. So I don't know. I'm not putting that out there, but that is something important to keep in mind whenever you're asking, like, when is, like, where is stuff? I don't think it is, but, you know, again, yeah. No way it's canceled. The art for the 25th anniversary and the merch is leasing. I mean, I hope. You know, the anime was also supposed to be releasing, and that got canceled too. So, but honestly, though, too, as I've said before, I don't think their focus, it needs to necessarily be, I don't think it needs to be, let me turn this shit back down to here. There we go. I'll be a little quieter. I don't think that their focus necessarily needs to be on any remakes or sequels to anything. I think that they probably need to be focused on new Final Fantasy stuff in general, so I do think we are that far removed from the NVIDIA leak and a whole new company head restructuring SC later that anything we know from that leak is no longer wholly credible. Yeah, I feel like anything that we know, period, is no longer as credible, because, you know, whatever Square Enix was doing before, they're no longer doing. Right? Again, it's also really important to keep in mind that, you know, with Final Fantasy 16 and 7 Rebirth and what happened there, they're probably doing a lot of consideration for how they want to release the next FF game. Jacob, you have a good one, man. They're probably making a lot of considerations for how they want to release the next FF game. And I'm willing to bet they want to be really cautious with it. So it could also be that they are trying to make sure that 9 Remake is as polished as humanly possible, and they have a good release and marketing strategy before they roll it out, because they want to make sure that it's perfect before they do that. So I think it's also possible, it's also equally possible, they are trying to be as incredibly cautious with releasing Final Fantasy IX Remake as humanly possible, which is very understandable considering the state of the FF brand, considering the state of recent FF releases, and probably something that they need to do. They can't just throw it out there. And, you know, FF9 also was one of the lower selling 3D Final Fantasies. Now, a lot of that has to do with the timing that it released, but it doesn't have, I mean, even FF7 arguably doesn't even have at this moment, you know, the same type of, oh, you can just drop the name and people freak the fuck out by default kind of scenario, right? And Final Fantasy, to some extent, has lost a little bit of that. I mean, we still have it, but the broader casual audience, and especially the younger audience, may not have that as much anymore. So there does have to be a lot of consideration for something like Final Fantasy IX Remake before it comes out, and even more consideration for Final Fantasy 17 before it comes out. So all of that makes a lot of sense to me on, you know, why this is going to be kind of a quiet year for Square Enix. And I expect it to be a quiet year next year. And Probably going to be quiet until they decide to ramp up the release of Kingdom Hearts 4. Final Fantasy IX is my favorite FF, so when they released the new artwork for the 25th without announcing an actual remake, my heart aches. I'm sad that this is becoming so drawn out, assuming it does exist. Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, we all want to see it by now. It needs to release. Just needs to release on Switch 2 and PS5, and it'll be fine. I mean, of course, multi-platform is definitely needed for their strategy. And again, as we were talking about earlier, just as much as Switch 2 and PS5 are needed, PC is also incredibly important. Look at the collector's edition of FF Tactics. Can you link it to me, Crossy? Reminds me of the brutal wait in false starts for Final Fantasy VII Remake before 2015. Yeah. I mean, there was so much, right? But the difference here is that FF9 Remake will be one game. I fucking hope. And it'll probably be a lot more faithful to FF9 in general. And I don't just mean faithful in terms of like story. I mean faithful in terms of experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, more than just no arbiters, it'll probably be Final Fantasy IX, but like remade, if that makes sense. It'll probably be like actually Final Fantasy IX remade, I assume. You don't have the actual tweet? Okay, so we'll just look at Dream Boem's tweet, because he is probably freaking out right now. This is fucking dope. Holy shit, dude. Let's go. This is cool as fuck. First of all, Chocobo mini plush set. That's cool. You get a Ramza figure. Oh shit, you get a map. Dude, we talked about this before, but you guys know I fucking love when they give you a map. And then they give you this pop-up art too of the outlying church. That's really cool. That's a pretty solid collector's edition. I'm about it. That's cool. So yeah, I mean, we do have stuff to look forward to, guys. I think. That's not that bad. FF9 Remake will come eventually. But I think that they want to make a little bit of space for it. I think they want to be careful about how they want to release it. I think that matters a lot. So people who are assuming FF9 or any other remake will be drastically different, like 7 Hours Stupid, and don't understand the compilation at all. Brother, most people didn't play the compilation, like objectively. So whether they're stupid or whether they just didn't bother, you know, I think those are two different things. I don't think they're stupid. Most people just go to the main thing. That's how people work. Unless they're an ultra mega fan, and then they'll pick up all the spin-offs and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. It's like berating people because they didn't play Persona 5 Strikers. You know, not everyone's going to go pick that up. When's the state of play? Oh, brother. It's next week. No, I'm just playing. You just missed it, actually. State of play's over. Final Fantasy Tactics Remaster is real. Oh, it does have a new cast of VAs, and Ben Starr is in it. What? Where are you seeing that? Can you link me? Shit, dude, you might be right that Clive Thunder God Sid is voiced by FF14's Urianger VA. I believe he actually did Thunder God Sid's VA in the release rates in 14. Oh shit, nice. So then I wonder who Ben is playing then. It's really interesting. He really is the voice of everything now. I suspect in like the next FF14 expansion pack, he's gonna play like a main character. Granted, I wouldn't put it past them to just like, and I don't even mean this in a collab. I mean like, they're just gonna like literally canonize Clive being a character in Final Fantasy 14. And he's just gonna like literally be. At least if it's CPU 3, you know the voice acting is gonna be good. I mean that much they're consistent with is great English dubs, main pages up, like. Ooh. Oh, this is like literally the same as the. Oh, I see. Oh shit, you're right. No, Crossy, you're right. Cody Christian is Cloud Strife, and Brianna White is going to be Aerith Gainsborough. So they are actually showing up. Oh, shit. Oh, shit, dude. That's cool. I was it's actually kind of crazy though that like, you know, that they're really getting Cody to like to play that. So the post Cody did for the voice acting booth was for Tactics, you think? I still think it's probably for Re-Trilogy 3. But this is still pretty cool. The reason I still think it's for Re-Trilogy 3, again, I could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm right. But the reason is because I figured they would have recorded this like a while ago. Because this game is coming out in like 3 months. And he posted that last month. And yeah, I feel like it would be insane if they just recorded that like last month and the game is coming out in September. That would be insane. So I do feel like it's for Remake 3. Because you got to keep in mind that I don't think Remake 3 is like that far off. It'd be insane if it was. 2027 is like the latest I imagine Remake 3 rolling out. So yeah, this new UI, straight up the UI, the Tactics Ogre remaster use. So definitely the same devs worked on this. Yeah. Bro, I like the UI a lot. It actually kind of reminds me of like other CVU3 games. But these like smoothed out textures though. These smoothed out textures, I definitely prefer the original version on that for sure. I'd rather it just be pixelated than whatever smoothing technique that they tried to do here. The UI is clean. The smoothing of the pixels is just right. I mean, you think that they would learn their lesson from that, from like the first port of like Final Fantasy VI, where they overly smoothed everything out. It looks like they like went in photoshopped and like turned on like, you know, blur to like max and like yassified all the pixel art. But I don't know, dude. Those sprites are scuffed. Yeah, I don't like the overly smooth sprites either. Modders are gonna go ham. Can't wait. Yeah, modders are gonna do like some cool shit with it. But like, because it kind of sounds like you can't just choose whether to have the classic textures or the updated textures. It sounds like you have to play on classic mode to get that. I genuinely hope that's not the case. That you have to play on the classic mode to get like the classic assets, because I want all like the quality of life stuff, but I want it on the old artwork and not the blurred one. Gotta go PC version on this one. Switch would be nice, but mods will eventually make this the definitive version of Final Fantasy Tactics. Yeah. The smoothing looks like they listened to those CRT purists online who talk about how you need to play pixel games on a CRT to truly get the artistic intent. Yeah, and I feel like they're always bullshitting too, because I mean, you know, maybe it's because there are games that we play nowadays on pixel games we play nowadays, like Sea of Stars or something, that look gorgeous on like a 4K screen. And I guess the argument could be that, oh, those pixel games were designed for a 4K screen. Fair enough. But I still think that pixel games can look really good on a high resolution, high refresh rate screen. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I thought that they were going to redo the assets more. That's like the thing that just was surprising for me, is that I thought they were going to like do a little bit more there. I'm also like genuinely surprised that this isn't an HD 2D remake. What would you think if Tactics had a graphical overhaul like Octopath Traveler? I think that there's a lot of people critical of HD 2D nowadays. A lot of people don't like it nearly as much. And then also, as Crossy mentions here, the Team Asano is busy doing other HD 2D stuff, not to mention Bravely. So I think that there would probably be some people that would actually negatively react if this was HD 2D, so it probably is a better decision for it to not be. And I also think that a lot of people just appreciated the original style of Tactics enough that, again, they probably would react adversely to it being an HD 2D game. I love HD 2D, but it doesn't work for everything, right? So I don't think that you know, I don't think that most people are disappointed that like, oh, it's not HD 2D, but yeah, I guess that maybe some people were expecting a little bit more on the remastering side visually, but yeah, I hate the idea to just slap HD 2D on stuff and it's instantly better. Yeah. Yeah, and I think also too, like, I like pixel games, you know? Like a pixel game can be just a pixel game, and it doesn't need to be HD 2D in order for it to be modern or whatever the fuck. You can just make a pixel game and it'd be okay. I still think that Sea of Stars, again, I use that one as an example. That's a really gorgeous pixel game to me. Like, I think that game is like super beautiful pixel wise, and like, yeah, I think it would suck if something like that was HD 2D, because it would definitely lower the fidelity for me quite a bit. But so yeah, it looks really cool. Oh, this is where we got the box art. Just joining in the stream, but this means the only game left from the leak to be announced is Final Fantasy IX Remake, correct? That is correct as far as Square Enix is concerned. That is pretty much the only game left, and as far as I know, is probably the only game left in general from the NVIDIA leak that has not been announced yet. Which means it is safe to say the NVIDIA leak was the largest leak in video game history, as far as I know. I don't think that there's ever been any leak that has ever been equivalent to that has leaked this many games all at once. I always got to remind people when HD 2D comes up, technically HD 2D is a marketing term only used on Team Asano games. Star Ocean 2 Remake was an HD 2D game, but technically not HD 2D. Eiyuden Chronicle is a similar style, but technically can't be called HD 2D. It's, yeah. It's technically not even a style owned by Square Enix, you know, right? But it's a brand, you know? HD 2D is a brand. And that's what Team Asano came up with, so. But generally speaking, you know, we still kind of use the term to also refer to, like, things like Star Ocean 2. But, yeah. Or Eiyuden Chronicle. But, yeah, it is, like, technically the term is exclusive to them. That is indeed correct. Remaster? What is this? It's a remaster. I guess you could call it. I really feel like the word for this type of thing should be like definitive port, rather than like remaster. But yeah, it is technically a remaster. Star Ocean 2 looks much better. I mean, yeah, Star Ocean 2 actually got quite a bit of a facelift, right? They actually put some pretty decent effort into Star Ocean 2's remake. Surprisingly so. We still have Summer Games Fest, and hopefully we'll be getting Lost Odyssey remastered. That's my copium, actually, is Lost Odyssey remaster. Titanfall 3, Bioshock 2022, and some code names never released from NVIDIA leak. I feel like strong possibility those could be canceled. Very strong. Codename stuff is weird because we don't know what that turned out to be, right? So that actually some of that stuff could be announced and we just don't know. Bro said Lost Odyssey remaster, bro. Don't laugh at me. Stop laughing. You're gonna learn to commit war crimes in this game, Night Sky Prince. Wanna grind jobs, keep one enemy alive in a battle, surround them by units, then just throw rocks at them and have your healer keep healing them. Never let them die, and just grind. It's not evil at all. Oh, great! I'm excited. I'm excited. We'll probably end up playing this one together on stream. Maybe. It depends. Depends actually when they send me a code. If they send me a code beforehand, I guess I'll have to review it. If they don't, and I get like a day one code, then I'm definitely just going to stream it for you guys, and we'll just go through the journey together. I feel like it'll actually be better to just stream it anyways and go through that journey together, because I feel like it'd be more interesting that way, just to play it. Maybe I'll play the PS1 version first. I don't know. We'll make up our minds. We'll decide that way. Oops. I hit the mic again. I've hit the mic like 12 times this whole stream. Have I played it? No. It's actually going to be my first time playing Tactics. I have not played it. I played Final Fantasy 11. But I haven't played Tactics. So this is going to be really interesting. Okay. I think we're going to end the stream here. This seems like a good stopping point. So we'll end it here. And we will pick back up on Friday with the Summer Games Fest. So we get one small break, and then it is the next grind is here, and it's going to be awesome. We're going to get even more updates than we got today. So I hope you guys are excited. And yeah. All right. I'll see you guys all on Friday. If you haven't, go ahead and make sure you got the notify me button clicked on YouTube. If you're a YouTube watcher, and if you're a Twitch watcher, you should get the notification anyway. Okay. Bye, guys. Thank you so